Aloha, soul family. Welcome to our end of days, and that's DAZ. Um, this is, I'll tie it together spiritually, but I also kind of wanted to just make this more of like a, I guess, video diary vlog. Talk about a little bit more about myself, my background here. It's been tough, all right. It's been super tough being homeless, all right. Now, not just being homeless, but being homeless in Hawaii in particular, all right. I know I've mentioned this on my other videos, but I also don't want to misconstrue the situation. All right, if if I would have known how difficult it was when I got here to Hawaii through the whole process of everything, I would have done it differently. I probably would have stayed on the mainland and made my situation a little bit more secure before coming here to Hawaii to even attempt to be integrated on the islands. And so I also want to stress that for everybody who it would be thinking about doing something similar to me, where my suggestion is don't do it. All right, just don't do it. Um, yes, I did do it, but like I said, I would do it differently if I had the foresight of what I know now. Um, uh, so I'm just putting that out there for you guys. All right. It has been quite a journey. All right, because I had experience being homeless on the mainland, and so it was very different than coming here. And like I said, as specifically, guys, as a haole, I had no idea it was like this. All right, and it's one of the things that I also want to stress too. Like I'll talk a little bit about it. My knowledge of the Hawaiian language and specifically Pidgin, which is kind of for people who are like mainlanders mostly, like myself. Pidgin is a combination language of English and Hawaiian, and so it's usually spoken very quickly, and you have to kind of have foresight and knowledge of what the stuff means in order to really understand what people are saying. And so like I like to joke, Whitey McWhite over here, I had no idea. Like even to this extent, even with the months of experience that I've had here, a few people have been willing to talk to me and reveal a little bit about Pidgin and about phrases and things that I can catch now, that I understand now. Because previously it was just like gobbledygook. People would say things and it'd be like, whoa, just kind of over my head, you know. And no knock against anybody who speaks that way. Truly, to me, it's more just like I feel like unadept, if anything, because people would say something and then I'd be like, what, what? I don't like, even can you slow down what you're saying, because you're speaking really fast and you're using words that I'm not familiar with. So could you just have patience with me? And so yeah, guys, yeah, and a lot to it too. I wanted to address something here, which might be a little bit more heated and everything, and something that I'm definitely encountering here, where from where I'm from, there's at least from my experience and everything, it's very different. All right, it's very different from where I am, from being in what would be considered, a blue or democratic state on the mainland. And discrimination is a very different thing. Racial discrimination is a very different thing. Um, and me being here, I got to experience, and I still do, um, more discrimination than I was used to. All right, and this is also why my spiritual practice is so important. All right, and it's something that I take on the chin too, because it's just like I've said, I think in another video. I understand you guys. It's the white conquerors, right? The white people who are see themselves as superior to other races and everything, and it's just like that's very much not me. Yes, my accent and everything. Look at me, guys. I'm white. All right, I'm super white. I totally get it. I totally get it. I'm not going to deny my Caucasianness. All right, it's very apparent. Okay, and I'm not going to try to hide it. All right. With that said, I am very much part of the Aloha spirit. All right, and my views are almost very non-white, I would say, in a lot of different directions. In many ways, I would say I'm more of like a Native American when it comes to concepts of how to run a community, a government, and everything. Um, and so, which might seem counterintuitive because of my skin color. All right, because of how I sound, how I speak. All right, and so it's more along those lines of get to know me. All right, please get to know me first before you make any judgments. And I would say that with any white person, any immigrants, all right, any Caucasian, all right. And in this case, I'll take the term on the chin, all right. I've mentioned it before, but haole, it's actually like for my opinion and how important breath is, how important breathing is as a spiritual practice. For someone to say, you're a non-breather, woo, oh, ouch, guys, oh man, that hurts. That does hurt, all right. And I almost feel like Hawaiians, like the true Hawaiians who are here, when they call me haole, all right, and I laugh about it. They almost think that they're getting one up on me. It's just like ha ha ha, yeah, haole, freaking non-breather. Be like, okay, I get it, you guys, I get it. Believe it or not, I get it. All right, and it's funny. Many ways. The way that I'm interpreting it. All right, just like how I'm just going to out and say it, because if I'm white, I'm not white, it's peach colored, right? But just like black people, all right, what would be called African Americans, if that's even politically correct, even though it's really not, all right? In many cases, it's not. Um, they adopted, the N word, and I'm not going to use it specifically for this particular reason, okay? Because I do have some sensitivity, all right? As irreverent as I am about these kind of things, which is good, guys. I think we got to have a little bit of humor and irreverence when it comes to, racial tension. Let's just say that, all right? Because my premise here is that we really got to judge people and individuals on a basis of character, on a basis of who they are, what they bring to the table, all right? Their energy, not just their skin color, all right? Not just their apparent associations with groups, even, all right? That's my premise, though, and so I need to as well express that, and be a part of what I would say is the solution to all of this, all right? I've also heard from other Hawaiians as well, all right, that we're all immigrants here, all right, in a very real way. That's, I think, one of the reasons why, just without mincing words here, God called me to Hawaii in the first place. Yes, I had some deep, troubling tribulations, and I might have done it differently had I known what I know now. With that said, I went through what I went through for a reason. And in many cases, I think it was to expose me to the extent of what's going on, at the very least, on Oahu, which is, at this point, it's my home island at this point. I would love to explore the other islands, but I got to get centered, you guys. I got to get centered here first before I just start flipping off into other islands. I did at one point have a good substantial savings, but this was part of my trials and tribulations here being homeless, all right, is that my ID and my wallet and everything were stolen like the third night that I was here. And so I ended up losing the capacity to have a bank account, to be able to get certain things right off the bat. And then I got involved with a very, let's just say, toxic crowd that was, I'll say it in another video because it's a bit inflammatory and it might seem a bit conspiratorial, but based upon what my experiences, wow, you guys, wow. So we'll just call it criminal elements within the homeless world, all right? And so I was pretty sure, if I'm going to be really honest here, like the double-sided aspect, my entire savings was stolen from me. With that said, it was something that I also gave away, and I can see both aspects of it, because it's something that I would not have given away under duress, but I was under extreme duress. And it was a good lesson. What I chalk it up to was the price of my education here. And if anything, I pray that my entire savings, which was thousands of dollars, all right, and it did go to apparently homeless individuals. Now, whether that went to just drugs menial material things. If it didn't really help anybody, that sucks. And I would say like the individuals who have received that, you cursed yourselves. All right, that money was a gift. It was truly a gift, and however you've chosen to use it, that's up to you. I hope it got you into a better circumstance. I hope it got you out of homelessness, if anything, or at least in better straits where you can live with a degree of comfort in homelessness. And you didn't just blow it all on drugs. You just didn't blow it all on material, silly, stupid things. All right. That was hard earned for me. That every single penny of that was hard earned. All right. And I had intentions to use that to enrich the island. All right. Not just to enrich myself, but to enrich the island. And so, even more so, you spending that money in a frivolous way, that's your curse, guys. That's like, I've let it go. I've let it go. And I'm on my way back, right? I don't know. I might have the related video here, but this is I got my Hawaiian ID now. I'm a like I said in my video, right? I'm a Hawaiian haole now. So we got that going on. A Hawaiian immigrant. And so I kind of mentioned it here before. I know I'm jumping around here. This is what I do, guys. I'm getting better, but I still jump around a bit. I'm gonna use the term haole, and take it on the chin. Yes, it's a derogatory term. I'm not gonna mince words here, all right? But guess what? For the black people, so is the N word, and they say that to each other all the time, all right? And they've transformed that word into meaning something else. Where back in my day, when I was in high school, even the white folk, all right, were calling each other the N word because it meant my N word, And I'm not gonna do it online here, even though I want to, all right. But it would be taken out of context, all right? But what I can say, all right, is haole. So what up, my haoles? Yes, it's a derogatory term, but I'm transforming it, alchemizing it, just like the other people did, all right? You want to call me haole? Okay, but guess what? I'm breathing. I don't know how to phrase it, but a breathing haole, would that be like a ha-ha? A ha-ha haole? A ha-haole, And forgive me, you guys. Forgive me. I'm still learning the language, and I am interested in the language too. It's doing more research because that's kind of what the guy that I am. The character that I am. Language is super interesting, and learning more about the Hawaiian language in general is amazing. I kind of want to take a class to learn the language because it truly is. It's an endangered language, you guys. Did you know that? Like, I don't know if many people know that. Like, it's not a dead language. It's just it's an endangered language. And so people using the language, I love that, you guys. I'm not trying to I can't think of the word, like appropriate. There's a word for it, like culturally appropriate anything either. All right, I'm not about that. All right, this is also why I have this premise too, where it's just like I'm not attempting to insert myself into a situation that I know that I don't fit into, I guess is the best way to say it. Like, that's why, yes, at this point now I'm a Hawaiian, all right, but I am a Hawaiian haole, all right. I'm a Hawaiian immigrant, and I get that. All right, I'm not going to try to present myself like a native-born Hawaiian, and respect to the native-born Hawaiians here, abso-freaking-lutely. All right, if anything, I would want to really help them. All right, I want to help you native-born Hawaiians here because this is your islands. All right, truly, and kind of and I see this more as a social commentary on the world itself, if you really want to say it. But it's just like, we're all immigrants, all right, in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like it is outside sources. It is outside powers, almost. I don't even want to use that word, but just like people who are not of the local populace who end up coming to power in local populaces. And so it's just like, and I've said it before in other videos, but the local should dictate and run the local. Right? And they can be part of an international community. I absolutely love that. But when you have international dictates forcing themselves upon local population, doesn't matter where it is, all right? I felt the same thing in Idaho. All right, I felt the same thing in Washington. All right, whereas just like the local population really didn't make decisions for themselves. Okay, like in every way, shape, and form too. All right, I mean this. All right, yes, when I was homeless in Washington and Eastern Washington, I want to specify that there's a huge difference between like Seattle, West Washington, and Eastern Washington, because I would say Eastern Washington's a lot more like North Idaho if I'm going to be there, um, but just more of a blue state kind of a deal rather than a red state kind of a deal. Even though I would also say Coeur d'Alene, which is where I used to reside in North Idaho, is a more moderate kind of a red state area, if you want to call it that. Um, some people might disagree with me, but man, at least when I was living there were a lot of Californians moving there. So it is what it is, you guys. Um, and so running into this too, where it's just like the local should dictate the local. All right, I very much agree with this. And so even being Hawaiian now, I do not claim to be a native-born Hawaiian. Okay, like if anything, I'm a guest here in this wonder on these wonderful islands as well. Okay, and I really want to stress that. I really want to stress that. Even if I am a resident here now, I still see myself as a guest here. And so I truly wish to come across in that mindset as well. All right. Uh, Extending that though too, as I always do, like no matter where I go, guys, I love nature. Nature is this beautiful, sacred thing, and destroying nature for the sake of quote unquote progress, no good, you guys, no good. It doesn't matter where I've been. I've always been that kind of a nature guy. All right, I guess for lack of a better word, right? And so, man, time goes quick when I'm rambling, right? So we'll kind of keep it at there. I just wanted to get this out there. I got my ID. This is who I am, Hawaiian haole. All right. Shout out to my other haules here on the islands. Um, yeah, it's about sticking together, but more about that, it's about integrating. All right, you guys, like that's what it is. And I'll do my best, especially with pigeon. If you true natives, can help me, be patient with me with pigeon, that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. I love it. And if you don't want to do that, if you still got huge amounts of resentment toward the white people, totally understand. All right, you just probably better to ignore me, everything. And so, with that said, I am of the Aloha spirit, you guys, and even if you wish to condemn me, I still love you, all right? But don't cross me, all right? Just like I won't cross you. Just it's the same, all right? You know what I'm talking about, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. So, peace out. Love within. Catch you guys on the flip side.